What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What it do, what it is happening with the business be. It's your guy Nate Bennett here with another extraordinary episode of the Extraordinary Exchange podcast, powered by the Extraordinary Investment Group. I know who we are, 12 black men in the community, building legacies, talking about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff, man. Got my illustrious co-host, Mr. Benz. I know the vibes, I know what it is. Bringing value, bringing illustrious guests, and got a day one supporter for sure. We connected with him on we connected with
Clubhouse.
him Clubhouse,
Way back.
original Clubhouse crew back in the early pandemic struggle.
Crazy. Thinking about Clubhouse, man, that thing's extinct now. It's gone.
Yeah, right. But it served its purpose for while it was here. You know what I'm saying? We all got to connect. This gentleman is a serial entrepreneur. Into all kind of different things: content creation, web design. Nice with the camera. He didn't film some amazing content for DJ Drama, President Joe Biden, just to name a few. This gentleman is a jack of all trades, and he's going to definitely add some value to the conversation, and some people are going to get some gems and definitely learn some things for what he got to say. But without further ado, I introduce y'all to Pittspreneur himself.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me in this thing, man. We just been a long time knowing y'all, been able to have, different type of conversations, learn about different environments, learn about how y'all doing it up north versus me down south. So it's cool that we can kind of get back to this kind of conversation, have this recorded, and just, start off with a bang. So yeah, I'm interested to go ahead and get started with the questions and kind of see what y'all got popping with this. I'm interested to see what y'all got. Very interested.
Yes, sir. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You said the South. What? Tell me about yourself. Where you from? What you do? All that type of
stuff. It's a lot. Really focus on kind of what I did. I was able to quit my job and hire myself with my LLC, and pretty much be a content creator, content strategist full time. And I'm using that to meet new people. So I am in the South. So I'm based in Birmingham, Alabama. But that's like a couple of hours away from Atlanta. So I end up going there at least a couple times each month, network with pretty big people, pretty cool people. Can't say anybody right now, but just doing real good business with them, being able to add value. So that's what I do full time now. I got a couple other things going on. I do want to start selling e-products based on things and skills that I have accumulated over the years. So that's pretty much what I have going right now. And then, just a couple other miscellaneous things. But yeah.
Cool. Amazon, roll tide, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, let's get into the nitty gritty. What got you into the world of entrepreneurship? Not going the 9-to-5 route, quitting that job. Like what led you to go down that route? Because a lot of people are gonna be listening. We hear that as being like the popular buzzwords nowadays. Entrepreneurship is where it's at. Quit your 9-to-5. If you're at a 9-to-5, you a sucker. We talked about that on the podcast many times. But what had you make that pivot from that 9-to-5 to working for yourself?
Well, I mean, actually, I had to make a pivot from entrepreneurship to a 9-to-5. So, like, I didn't just start this. Like, I have, videos of me, being a 15 and 16-year-old in high school, going to the local teaching area for college students, showing freshman business model canvases, giving them advice on what they should do in the iLab at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, in their business. So I already was into this, and it kind of show a little bit more virtuoso when it comes to entrepreneurship. When I was doing coding and content and IT for Ed Farm, one of Apple's nonprofits, I was actually scooped up by venture capital, the principal for a venture capital firm. And, just because he knew that I knew finances and stuff like that and was able to understand business and kind of had a background with it, he was like, hey, come over here and kind of, do the same thing that you did and had a history doing. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, I've been able to see it from both ends, from being, at the board table where it's like, let's talk about your series fund and your cap table and stuff like that. And then from the other end, like, let's start a business. Let's see how far we can go. And then talking with people that have different businesses, like, software as a services, food companies, stuff like that. So, yeah. So I've kind of, and I had a food truck business before and have a vending machine business now as well. So, like, entrepreneurship has kind of always been there. But leaving a 9-to-5, working for a job for 3 years, I had a set salary. So that was cool. You know what I mean? But once I put my, butt grinded, busted my butt, all that type of stuff for a few years, and then it's time for a raise, it was very hard to get that. And when I did get it, it was a 10% raise. And then when I even did switch jobs and I got like a 30K plus increase with signing bonus and all that other stuff, I still wasn't as content because, in this job, it was a higher wage. But if you do have a higher wage, typically that means you got to go even harder at that job. And now, I'm looking at 60 hours studying overtime, studying this to try to learn and get up to par. And it's a grind for people, and it's cool. But I kind of looked at it like, in the backfield, I was building my videography business, and I could go out to a client and be able to film for them for a weekend or a couple of days. If it's out of town, they'll pay for the hotel and mileage and stuff and meals, and then I might get 1,500 to 2,000, and I already bought my equipment and paid it off. So it's like straight cash coming to me. And when you look at a paycheck, you're going to spend, 40 hours a week, 80 hours, 2 weeks to get one of those to get like, a decent salary. So looking at that, with 5 days working, doing videography with successful leads, I can mimic, or if not crush, the salary that I was making with a significant reduction to the amount of time that I was putting in. So we're looking at 10 hours a month to generate, $500 more of the salary that I was doing, 460 hours. So when I looked at that math and I saw that I was already doing it, and it got to the point where working at work, it was starting to reduce what I already had built, and it did dwindle, and I had to rebuild it back up once I made that leap. It was kind of like, yeah, I would rather do this. And then because I had done so many projects and managed it so well and kind of paid off all the debt before I made that leap, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really, it's not really hard to do that. And the last thing I'll add, just being keen with financial awareness for the last 10 years, my foundation is so wide that, like, I have wealth in the matter that, like, I don't have to work for at least 2 years, or at most 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Because I have cash and assets to the side, and my cost of living is so low, and I kind of manage that. So all that to say, once all that kind of made sense and I saw all that lined up and it made, a decisionable, it was an actionable reason to execute, then I decided to do that. So that's a long story for that, even though I said a short story. But I feel like all that, you got to think about that, because anybody, quitting your job is scary, so, like, you want to minimize the risk. Am I saying that? That's all the ways I minimize the risk. And once you have a steady LLC and you have a very high value skill, you can do that. You can give yourself health insurance when you pay yourself. You can even pay yourself a 401k as well. So, yeah.
So when we're going from that 9 to 5, that security of that 9 to 5, knowing how much money you're gonna get every other week, to kind of building your own brand, depending on your own, generating your own leads, is probably the hardest switch for most people to make. In that videography business, you talk about generating leads. How has that worked for you? What was some good, some bad about generating constant leads to kind of have a constant, steady stream of income while you're doing this?
Generating leads is difficult. That's the one thing I hate about it. That's why I'm doing e-products, so it can be easier to just make an e-product, put it up somewhere, copyright it, and then push it out through a successful sales funnel. But what I'm finding with videography, by going to Atlanta, now that's not really an issue, because everybody has a clothing brand. Everybody wants somebody to do something dope. So, like, now that I'm kind of tapping in over there, it's different when it comes to lead generation. Like, I know you follow, I think you're in my close friends, Benz. Like, you saw who I was, having a video with. Like, that's a big fish right there. And that was the first time I met him that I was able to sell myself in such a way that it kind of led to that conversion, and just being able to build that website and do that other type of stuff. But the other thing, going back to leads, I expanded from just a videography company to a content agency, because everybody has a videographer. And when you say you want a videographer, it's like, oh, well, I already have a videographer. And then you look at that videographer and it's crap. It's like, I can't tell you it's crap and then try to be like, do me versus that. Because it's like, everybody would do that. So I kind of expanded from there. So it's easier to get leads, because now I build websites. I can help create your digital footprint. I can give you social media strategy, and I can do videography, and then do any type of iteration or package of that to fix your needs. So now I'm talking to you, consulting about your need and stuff, and I'm able to come in and do stuff in a crazy way and fashion and explain it to you and break it down. Oh, and I can actually do the videography and your website and have it to you in 48 to 24 hours. So it's like a full package. So now I'm not a videographer, I'm a content strategist. Oh, what's a content strategist? So it's like, it's different.
It's
A
different.
buzzword that I see a lot on online now that you just said was creating content funnels. Explain that funnel process to people. Let them know kind of, because it's something people say often, but I don't think the average person really understand what that means on the back end and how can it help your business.
Yeah, funnel. So like when I was I think my freshman year of college, I worked for a marketing agency in Birmingham, and funnel is like an ancient marketing term. This isn't something new. It's very well known. A funnel is basically, think of a funnel, and you need to put water in it. You put a lot of water. You put a lot of water in the top, and then as it gets to the bottom, it kind of narrows out and goes in a steady fashion. When you think of a sales funnel, you want to catch as many people as you want to, and at that top of the funnel, that's people knowing you. That's like they see you, they know your brand, they're getting to know you. The second funnel is when the second part of the funnel, the inner part of the funnel where it starts to constrict, is where you get into like the call to action. They have signed up for something. They might have had a shopping cart filled or something like that. They're teetering on the edge. They know you. They're they're getting your email subscriptions, something like that. And then the bottom of the funnel is when, like, after that certain time, you've built up trust and the value proposition to the point that they're like, hey, I'm going to, convert. And then you have successfully built and done that sales funnel. So when you say building a sales funnel, and when I think of it, I think about all the different things that I like to do. I like gaming. I like tech. I like AI. I like money. I like finance. I like business. I like videography. So with that, I had to create different pages to create different funnels. And at the end of those funnels, have different products that tailor to those different audiences based off my skills, expertise, and what I like. So with that being said, it's really easy to build funnels when you start with the end product that you want to sell people. And I know it's not about sales, it's more about value, but it's about money. So like my thing is, I'm not even going to release those funnels to people until I built up in a mass suction amount of value, I'm sorry. And going back to what we said prior to this, you were saying, why are you doing that link? The reason why I'm doing that link is if I go ahead and have 100 names, when I start to, do that type of sales funnel and stuff like that, I can drop those first 100 people in there, and I can start to give them products for free and interact with them just for the hell of it. And of course, because they were the first people, the guinea pigs. I mean, it's not guinea pigs; they're the day one A1s and stuff like that. I'm able to kind of interact with them. But again, yeah, I think that answered everything without going into the next
No,
part.
you're
But that's
right.
what,
You're right.
yeah, cool.
And guinea pig may not be had the
It's
right
not at all.
connotation, but at the end of the day,
It's a
Yeah.
testing
though,
ground, but
no,
they
no,
get free stuff for it.
but it's true though, because if you being real with the customer and saying, "Hey, you're my first clientele doing XYZ process, and I'm not charging you anything for it," then they'll understand. As you grow, they'll grow, and the value will come over time. So it's because you are doing an experiment at that point in time. You know what I mean? So
True. It's an experiment in a sense, but it's not. It's an experiment in the sense that I'm understanding my software and how to automate stuff. It's not an
right.
experiment in the sense that, like, once I get your information, I'm not selling it to nobody, and you're going to get free stuff. Like from this day forward, whenever I launch stuff, you're going to know about it first. You're going to get some discount codes first, and you're probably going to get some consultations for free. So, like, yeah, guinea pig was wrong, but like, it's not even a test. It's already proven. It's
It's
just,
already proven.
yeah. Might be better way to say that. But yeah.
Yeah, like you said, sales funnels aren't nothing new. People have been using them forever, but you'd be surprised so many people with social media that put out content that just try to get likes, try to get engagement, but they don't have that next step of um, collecting all that data and utilizing it, and then have that end product in mind at the end of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they did, like the conversions are crazy. Like they get you might have a million likes, you got all kind of followers, but if you don't have that funnel and don't have a way to convert those people into loyal customers, you hustling backwards. So
I mean, adding to that, so like going back to Atlanta, I can literally tell you, I know at least 5, 10 people, hundreds of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, like 100K, 800K, 900K, 1.1 mil, all this type of stuff. And it's like they're making, a little bit above average income. And I'm like, bro, how?
right.
How? Because it's like if I had 50K people, I know I got a color in. Because the way I would have attracted those 50,000 people, it would have been in the way that they wanted. They hungry. They see this and they want to change something. In the way that I'm, being able to strategically place content where it's funny and it reaches out and it attracts people. And then you got that punch in there where it's like, well, here goes this where you can learn how to do this. Now you're kind of building this kind of community where people are commenting, interacting, and doing stuff like that. And now you have, it's more easier for people to, hit the sale. But like, yeah,
I don't know if a lot of those people that had those 100K, 200K million followers really know strategically how they got there. That's one of the things where it just kind of happened. You know what I'm saying?
They're good at what they're good at, man. They're good at making content, not managing sales funnels, companies. You know what I'm saying? It's not at all. Yeah.
Yep. That's the epitome of why we started EBS, Extraordinary Business Solutions, because especially during the pandemic, a lot of people started businesses. They know how to make candles, how to make clothes, how to do content, but they don't know the business of their business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that marketing
operations.
side, the operations systems, for
tax
sure.
compliance. You know what I'm saying? Have an employee for your business. You got to pay taxes. You got to have insurance for your employees. Like in order to run my payroll, say I'm getting paid $1,250. It costs me $1,560 to run the payroll. And then when I do get paid, it's only $950 to $1,000 because you get taxed when you get paid. Whatever you get paid, you don't really get paid, you get taxed. So think about, stuff like that. And, that's just one thing. Then you got to dealing with clients, what are you doing with receipts, mileage, and reimbursements to yourself and stuff like that. All this type of stuff is major. What are you doing with deductions, accounting? What type of software you're using? Are you cash apping people? Are you Venmoing people?
The business of the business, man. So much. So I love how you got a bunch. Well, first of all, web design game is crazy. If y'all go to E.I.G's website, Pitts actually designed our website, created, most of the layout on there. It's dope. It's smooth. So y'all check out, not just on his page. I'm sure you can check out some of the stuff he's done, but he's added value to E.I.G personally. So we are indebted to you, sir. Appreciate you. But you got the content creation, the web design, the camera, the film, all that within one wheelhouse. Talk about how you've been able to pivot, because we hear about people talking about multiple streams of income. How are you able to have multiple streams of income all within that content creation space? Because I think that's powerful what you've created. How you just pivoted from just being the guy behind the camera to be able to provide a whole suite of value to the folks that you're adding value to.
Film. Just like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all of them, you got to watch people that are already doing it do it. Like I probably watched, even before all of this, like I was reading stuff like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, learning about high value skills, moving and all that other type of stuff. Like I was, internships, corporate internships, being an Inroads alum, if y'all know what Inroads is, all this other type of stuff. So it's like being able to do that, kind of put me in the mindset where I understood skills and all that. So once I got to the whole thing was I always knew if I got to a point where I knew what to sell people, it was going to take off. That was never the issue. The issue was figuring out what to sell. Even in high school, when I was selling candy, I literally scaled that business to where I had a locker. I borrowed lockers from people and paid them in candy, had a locker on each floor. I was able to go in classrooms, let the teacher get 2 or 3 pieces of candy for free, and I'm hitting everybody in the classroom. I'm bringing in like $2,100 a week from candy in high school, making more than my job at Taco Bell, like because I knew how to scale, I knew how to beat out the competition. Oh, they got that. Well, if you buy 4 items, I'm gonna give you something for free, and I make sure when I go to Home Depot or not Home Depot, go to wherever they sell the candy at, instead of for the 15 pack, I'm gonna get the 30 pack because the unit price is lower. Like all of this stuff I realized in high school. I realized that the chocolate needs to be stored in certain areas. Honey buns can be stored where the chocolate can't. One needs to be hot, one needs to be cold. All this type of stuff I didn't realize that I knew. So when it got to the point here where I got to where I could sell a video to somebody for $300, I was like, oh, well, how do I get it to 5? Well, how do I get it to 1,000? And I go on YouTube and they're like, grow your business to where you got a $5,000 retainer for a client. I'm like, well, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? So once I saw that video, now I'm subscribed to them and I'm following. I'm looking at every video like that because I'm like, bro, if he can do that, let me see. And now I'm seeing all this other stuff, and now I'm falling into a wheelhouse of SMS, social media marketing, general marketing, building funnels, understanding how to attract people to it, understanding how to have the right value proposition, understanding that you have to tell customers no. Like it was a point in time where I was dealing with, $100 to $500 customers, and I said no, I can't do that because I'm like 5 to 100 now. And like then they're like, well, XYZ boom and all that. And the craziest thing is, the higher that I get up, the easier the customers are. Like literally after I'm done with this, I have to go down to Montgomery to record our governor K.I.G for some type of summit. I'm getting like a pretty decent amount of bread, and they paying for the hotel. I have to pay for my own valet. That's not bad. But you know what I'm saying? I'm getting meals and just pay for the thing. And it's like, it's very simple. It's going to be straightforward. There's going to be some talking. It's going to be some crowd shots. It needs to be chopped. It's going to have some nice bland music in the background and some nice animations coming up. Simple. Bam. Now I go to Atlanta and I'm talking to Daquan. Daquan got $300. I'm in the alley. I don't know where I'm at. I got $5,000 of equipment in my hand, and now he want $30,000 worth of edits. It's got to come in. It's got to fade. It's got to sequence. The music got to go up here. You got to have this scene, that scene. One of the girls didn't show up, so we got to schedule it the next time. I'm talking to you about real situations. So like dealing with all that, literally going on YouTube and asking, it kind of got me to the point where I'm kind of want to back off from videography and get into this. Now, if you like this content solution package and you want some videography, depending on what we're talking about, I can do it, but I'm probably not going to refer you to myself unless you're talking about something that's simple and that I really would like to do, and it's a nice experience. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Something you said that I do myself. I want to say it's on Double Up. Nipsey say, I study rich niggas, that's my homework. And so I feel like I think a lot of times society, we get caught up with XYZ person as an XYZ spot, and we admire them for being successful on the end when they're successful. And so oftentimes, so-and-so person made millions of dollars, billions of dollars, they're great. Automatically assume they're great. Then the second thing is, we assume that, this person must have did something shady. This person must be down with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. This person must be the Illuminati and sold their kid and then sacrificed their brother. We don't understand that the process that it takes to get to these points. And studying these differences, especially in your personal field, how they did it, what they did, what were their success, what was their failures. Nowadays it's easier than ever to kind of find that true story of people. And if you do that enough and see where they failed, what they did right, it makes it 10 times easier for you. The blueprint, the blueprint to this success for most fields is already out there, well established. It's just you got to put that work in and use those examples and take something over there, and put it together and do it yourself. And what you said right there was exactly it. Like, you start off with what you have, and then find somebody else that's doing it as a highly successful rate, and see how they grew that business. It's not hard to do.
Yep.
But we don't give ourselves the credit to be able to say, hey, I can go build my own Amazon online service. You know what I mean? We got, but it's easy if you say step back and study how it was built. So I like that. I like how you look at it that way, because that's the key, is just studying the successful folks and how they did it, and you can do it yourself.
Success leaves clues, man. And you gotta, the one thing that Pitts has going for him, he has a thirst for knowledge. You don't just pick up Rich Dad, Poor Dad, researching everyone in your field that's doing what they're doing, looking at people's tendencies at school and how you can scale your candy business in high school. Like all these are skills that most people experience, but they don't learn from it. They don't, look at those tendencies and how they could benefit from it. Like just having that thirst for more and wanting to have that knowledge is a skill all in its own right there. So salute to you for that.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
So shoot, you talking about candy, just to pivot on there real quick. We seen you got into vending machines. You was talking about that briefly. Why vending machines? Right? And I can almost already imagine why, because you know what I'm saying, you did it in high school, perfected it, and that's just the next, evolution in that. But yeah, talk about the vending machine business real quick before we get into maybe some AI and some other things.
You want the short and sweet?
As
I'm
much
gonna get
value
you.
as you trying to share with folks, just
I'm
get
gonna
to
give
them.
you short and sweet. It's the worst shit I've done.
Nah, but see, that's an even
Let's
better
keep
story.
it a buck. Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's
I
an even
wouldn't
better
say it's the
story though.
worst. I wouldn't say it's the worst. So my idea was get a nice machine, put it in a nice building downtown Birmingham. The building was half occupied after I got it there. I haven't lost the people who I got the machine for. They never have it makes a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that, but it's like it's not life changing money and stuff like that. And the people I got the machine for, they never got the credit card reader to work, and they never have requested a payment for the machine. So technically, that machine was totally free. So it's just like it's just wow. And I've had it for a couple of years now, so it's like I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but I still got the machine, it's still there. But yeah, it's just not that. But like going back, if I were to do it again, I probably would go to some of the lower class neighborhoods and make sure I got like a real secure machine, put it outside the office, because a lot of times, these are areas where, I mean, just be real. We downtown Birmingham in the building, Scott Dale and them, they going down to the spot, they swiping 180 on the thing, bro. They not really going to the machine. But if you going with Day Nunu and Quan, that, you know what I'm saying? Some people gotta walk, and instead of walking on to the gas station, like, hey, it's a vending machine right there, and they got the Doritos and the gummies and all that other stuff. And I know it sounds worse, but you can get the lower quality food, which costs less as well. Because it's like when I was in the other spot, I'm getting pistachios, I'm getting sun chips, I'm getting all this higher stuff, and I got to charge higher. And the turnaround is some of it expires, you got spoilage. But it's like you go to these other locations, like them Doritos, like if you got some Takis in the machine, they're gone. You
Right.
got some Gushers in the machine, they're gone. You got a Sprite, you got some colored Fantas in there, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how I would do it. But even looking at it, like the way that I'm scaling and doing stuff now, I like virtual stuff at high ticket value. So it's like for there, every time the machine make $400, I or somebody else has to go lug a whole bunch of dang, drinks and soda and stuff somewhere. After you got to go and buy it, lug it, take it somewhere else, lug it, store it, change all that, get money out, be vulnerable for a minute. I was like, I would rather just consult, make a digital product, and push people to that digital product using comedy, because I was a class clown at a point and I know how to be comedic with people. So it's like, do I want to do? And then if I want to travel and do stuff like I'm going to do, like I want to do, get stuff in different continents, houses in different countries and continents, I don't think it will be really easy to do a vending machine. I'm not trying to trust anybody with the business. I want to be able to run and do everything, and it's cool to be at the helm virtually. So yeah.
The wham bam. Thank you, man. Quick, fast, easy. Appreciate the transparency too, because we don't hear that
Yeah.
side. Like you hear,
Yeah.
a few subject matter experts in that space, in any space, like they want to give you the glitz and the
You can
glamour.
do it. If you know what I'm saying, if you get the right route, the right locations, and you want to keep getting it and getting it, and you like going around and having that type of task. But my whole thing is I want to have to work 2 or 3 hours a week and be done with it. Because with batching content, you can batch a month of content in 1 to 2 hours just on Canva. And you know what I'm saying? That's without you being fire with videography or having a year worth of just random B-roll of yourself that you can just adapt and use. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the content, and I'm sure AI is involved in that because we use AI to batch a lot of our content over here in house too. Talk about how you've adapted to AI with your batching of your content either through Canva or it's been a B rolls or some of the stuff you got in house for some of your clients.
It's two big topics. I'm gonna go with AI. AI has changed a lot of stuff because it allows, because like usually when I was in areas that I didn't know, I would have to go to my mentors, ask them the questions. Like, my mentors are busy. So like I
Mm.
might get an answer that day. I might have to double back and get it in a week. And that's a timeline crunch. And even when I did get it, I might have to find out after 1 or 2 weeks, I really don't know anything about this. I don't know anybody, or here goes somebody. But now with Chat GPT and the fact I got a coding background and was able to do code and stuff, with Swift language, Python language, a little bit of Java, HTML, stuff like that, working under Apple, one of their nonprofits. So that allowed me to really understand what prompt engineering was, and then just my general interest in STEM and mathematics and stuff like that. So like when it came to me prompting, once I realized what I was talking to, it's like, okay, if I tell it to write something like a paragraph, I'm not going to say write it shorter. I'm going to say make this 50% shorter, or I'm going to say remove 2 paragraphs. I'm going to give it very specific, because like a machine doesn't know what shorter is. You can't say make this longer, make this red or something like that. You got to give it a specific color code or some type of reference. So even when I'm telling it to write certain articles, I have written articles that have been published and stuff like that, and I just got general homework and stuff that I've written, or I can just write something there. I'll give ChatGPT a series of commands. Starting off, I'll tell it what it is, what it knows how to do, how many years of experience it has. After that, I'll move on to what needs to be done, like a preface of what's happening. Then I'll give it a direct item, and then below it, I'll say use the wording and the way that I scripted stuff based off the excerpts below, make a couple of quotations, and now enter something that I've written before, and it'll give it back to me exactly like I would say it. So a lot of people say that you can tell about AI and all this other type of stuff, but if you're proficient with the way that you prompt and the way that you train it, like I even train certain GPTs to where like I don't have to do all that. I can just go in and put whatever I want because I done trained it up so hard. But like requests for proposals, like being able to say, I need a request for proposal, for a company that, and I'm doing this, that, and that. They need it by this. They need, just basic things. And then it spits it back. I look at it, I read it, then I give it like, 8 or 9 bullet points on what it needs to change. And now it's done that. It's like, whoa, this is different. And then you can add chat box to your websites, and that's what I want to do to my website, to where like I don't even have to talk to clients anymore. I can kind of train it to where they go on the website, it's like, hey, what do you need? Oh, I need a website, I need that. Oh, well, that's cool, what were you thinking about doing exactly? And just kind of do that. And I'm gonna use Chat GPT to understand what's the best funnel to have that conversation, and then train whatever AI is on Squarespace to make that happen. So like now when I was like I need an assistant or something, it's like now I can just say, if you need, some type of, kind of like a doctor, like the doctor doesn't come in there and do all your vitals and all that. They take that well cut piece of information, they read it up and down after everybody else and did what they needed to do. They come in, they look at 1 or 2 spots, they say what they need, and then you either gonna do it or not, and they walk away. Like, I'm trying to be the doctor. I'm not trying to be the nurse and the technician and all that. So that's the way I'm trying to use AI.
Confession. So my good father, God bless him, retired veteran, broke up in 2024 and said he wanted to write a book. So he called me and said, this year I'm writing a book, son, help me out. I said, oh, you want to write a book, man? Check out this AI, man, And I figured I was gonna send him the AI. He was gonna be able to write his book and leave me alone. Every night for the past 3 weeks, I get a call. Hey, so I'm trying to write this prompt, man. How should I phrase it? So the whole prompting exercise you went through, I've been dealing with it myself literally every night with my dad, and I've been writing this book for the past like I said 3 weeks. It's crazy, but love him. But it's getting that prompt correct, I think, is the key to harnessing of those types of AI systems. And I guess the question I have for you is, so you said you honed it from your programming time. For people that aren't programming minded, how can they learn to become more proficient in creating these prompts so they can properly use the AI?
Go on YouTube. That's probably the easiest way if you have no knowledge.
Same advice to tell my father. Go right on YouTube. It's right there for you.
Just like literally, there are people who like will break it down in a way that I'm better than I can break it down, and where that I would learn as well. I just know enough to where I don't need it. And going back to the AI, it's not about getting it correct. It's about realizing you have a conversation. So if I start the conversation with somebody that has an infinite amount of knowledge of the internet, which it does, if I tell it one thing of a sentence, it can go 30,000 different ways. So you're trying to have a conversation where it can narrow it down in such a way that it's going to do it correct. Like, you might have it say, give me a recipe. you know what recipe, and then you're gonna get mad that it's, you know, a East Indian was West Saharan specialty dish that they only make on the third blood moon of Manson. You know what I'm saying? You said a dish. And it
Right.
didn't, you know what I'm saying? But now if it's like I need 5 different chicken recipes that I can make in 20 minutes that all cost less than $10, can be used with local, you know, different spices with Asian fusion and or Italian, but I don't like pasta and I don't want rice or something like that. Now let it give you 5 dishes. Now it's like you dang near can't fail. And if it does, the next thing that you tweak is definitely gonna have it. And if not, the very, very next thing. So I gave it so much information in a way that it already knows. So again, the first thing I do is tell it who it is. Like imagine like if I got a problem with a cook, like you're Gordon Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Period.
saying? Like now you're Gordon Ramsay. You have 30 years of culinary and television culinary success, and you taught over 40,000 people. ChatGPT already like, I know everything about Gordon Ramsay. I am Gordon Ramsay. Now it's like I need 5 recipes. It knows the number that it needs to give you. It knows it's going to give you 5 things about chicken. We need 5 recipes about chicken, the most consumed thing in the world. Literally 3 billion chickens die a year off the hands fuss. I think sardines or some type of fish or salmon is next. After that, cows. I think cows, something like that. But fish is like a bill. I mean, chicken is like a billion more. It's like chicken. Anyway, yeah, yeah. That kind of makes sense, man.
Yeah, you like first of all, Benz, I've been sitting here using AI for like a year now, and you ain't tell me that your pops needed some help. I could have, YouTube or just
I
hit Bennett.
thought so with like I said,
He
what
can
I told
literally
my friend
have the
was
convo. Go ahead.
I was I tried to swoop them off and make it easy for myself. Okay, well you go no, but it ended up being a whole other experience. So
He can
it
use
is what it
Chat
is. Good
GPT to
bonding time,
learn
I
how to
guess.
use Chat GPT. He can literally start a whole nother conversation and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm having a difficulty using you. What's the best way to you know what I'm saying?"
How to talk to you, how to talk nice to Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
Yeah,
You just got to big it up, like you said. Yeah, like tell it what it is. It's like it's a kid. It's a kid or an animal. You training it, and the more you train it, the more consistent you are with it. It learns your language. It learns exactly what it is. It's like Pitt said. He probably got a bunch of agents to where he ain't got to do that no more. He just give them a command now after training it to be a superpower in whatever specific area of expertise he needs it to be, and it's much simpler now. But it's just building that out, starting
Right.
from that beginning. But we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll definitely get pops. I'm trying to see what kind of book pops about to put out there.
But we'll see. We'll see. He got it's idea man. He like me. He got 27
No,
ideas.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we gotta narrow it down for him. But like I said, we'll definitely talk about that.
for sure, for sure.
So let me ask you this, Pitts. Now that you kind of got the basic wheelhouse of that content creation, what do you think is the next step for that business? How do you plan on growing that? Like, are you gonna? Do you think you need more? Is there another gear in that wheel, or like what are you trying to do with that? As far as your content business, how do you? What's the next evolution of that business?
I mean, I guess so. I made, I'm looking at it right here. I made 6 to 7 Instagram pages. So, like, looking at YouTube videos, if you can make a month worth of content in an hour, I should be able to make a week's worth of content in 15 minutes. So, like, with that being said, within 2 hours, I should be able to make a week's worth of content for 7 pages. If I'm really refined and I can really time it. In worst case, if I did a week's worth of content in 4 hours for 7 different pages, that's perfectly fine. Each page has its own niche and its own special thing. Some of them are faceless. I don't want people to know that I have it based off. I mean, not even based off what it's on. It's just I don't want, there's no reason why my face, race, gender, anything needs to be attached to it. It's just information, and information is gold. So like doing that, but making sure that each one of those has a bottom to the funnel. So like there's a reason why people are accruing here, and I can push them in a certain direction and be able to monetize them. So like, yeah.
So at the bottom of the funnel is the product.
Mm-hmm.
You begin the process with the product.
Yeah.
How do you choose the product?
I mean, I see what other people are buying. I mean, you just go to other people pages and look at what they're buying. Like when I look at gaming pages, what are people buying from gaming pages? Like, well, they're not really buying gaming page. I mean, gaming stuff. You know, people that are gamers, you know, they want to look better. They might not be the best with the girls, so there might be a Get Jack plan on there or something like that. It may be some type of subscription where they can learn about upcoming strategies or something like that. Newsletters, when you think about something like the Shade Room or something like that, they make money just because they amass so many people. They can just charge for ads. You got some pages that are about gossip and stuff like that, that are more so for women and stuff like that. But Shorty will pop out, the one that own it, and she'll show some cool Amazon products. It's like, sis, you got to get this. I'm using it all the time. Now you go into the link in bio, Amazon store, and now she's getting a little affiliate pay from that. So looking at what those other pages do and just kind of following these pages and doing it. And also when I create the page, I start to, so on my main page, I look at all these pages because my algorithm on that page so screwed up. I can see anything at any time. But I like that because when I do, I send it to the right page. So if I see something about relationship problems, it's going to that page. I see something about money and videos, going to that page. I see something about crypto AI, it's going to that page. So it's like it's easy. So when I do get on those pages and it's time to make content, and I get on those pages. It's not time to make content. When I just get on those pages and I'm randomly scrolling, I'll be like, okay, let me go ahead and hit a 6 speed right quick. So I'm going to this page for 4 minutes, this page for 4 minutes, this page for 4 minutes. But each one of those scrolls are highly polluted scroll sessions because it's nothing but those categories right there. So once I have those, I'm bookmarking and putting in different folders, remake it quick, remake it long, remake it whenever. So then it's like, okay, cool. So now when it's time to make content, now I'm over here. When it's time to make content, I'm going to this page. I already see what I can replicate, curate. And we ain't even talked about putting this in the chat GPT based off of everything else I said. So like this is just so yeah. This is what 400 hours of YouTube film gets you. I'll tell you that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I love it. I like it. I like it.
And
So
my thing listening to me, my watch, my watch over here beating me up, talking about chicken recipes.
Siri.
That's funny.
So I guess first off, if there's anybody out there who does want to contact you, does need some help with their content creation, what's the best way to get in contact with you? How do you somebody wants to check you out, see your work?
Definitely just Instagram, PITTSPRENEUR, or you can do Pittspresneur.co. That's my website, Pittspresneur. That's my handle everywhere else, and you can just see it there. From there, you can kind of make a decision and go that way. Yeah, I am a little selective now. I will say that. So, yes.
Gotta be selective. Gotta
Yeah.
be selective these days. I understand. Trust me.
I do. I mean, it's some people that might have like, and it's not saying that I won't expand to that at a certain point, but it's like right now, while I'm still trying to go to a certain speed, I wouldn't necessarily try to help somebody grow a page from 100 to 1,000, where I would run a page for a company if they were doing like a subscription or something like that. That's something I would do. Or somebody already had a high audience and we need to come up with a strategy to monetize it. That's something that I would do. But it's certain situations that I help, depending on what projects I already got stacked up, because everything's so freelance and because it's a one-man show, it's got to be selective timing. And if somebody needs something with a certain amount of time, like say you need something done with a rush order, I'm like, based on what I might do, I'm about to hit you over the head with it. You might as well go with somebody else. And I mean, being to the point where you kind of got that grounding to where like you don't have to, you're not money hungry. I'm not chasing that. Again, I can go a month or two without making anything, and that's not the case because I mean, something is coming up every other week. And then at the end of the day, if you see something that you want to get into, if your video quality is good, somebody that's doing something, you can say, "Hey, bro, I want to shoot a 5 video with you. I just want you to post it and collab with me on it." Now you're getting face off of that, and now you add that as another notch to your belt, and that can be a form of revenue too. Like I ain't never did anything with clothes. I was thinking, let me try to shoot some clothes commercials with some folks for Atlanta. I went to a fashion show, and that's how I met bro that I was showing you on the thing, Benz. I met him there. But you know, I was recording other brand stuff, and then I'm gonna chop the video up and send it to them, and it might not be the best because I've never done that type of content. And again, once you get there, everybody wants the different effects and all that. It's not just straight cut clean. But yeah, it's a way to get to a different lane. And again, it's, you know, nobody's paying you, so you're not worried about it not equating. It's going to be good though because it's 4K quality stuff. But like, you know, I might not have all the transitions and stuff at first, but it'll kind of grow into that. And then lastly, getting into VFX, so video effects, and then 3D modeling as well. That's something on the horizon. Yeah, being able to rate like movies and stuff, or like little animated scenes and stuff. That's pretty cool. I want to do that.
The 3D modeling at scale to create movies is definitely. So I had an idea the other day. Speaking of it, kind of like you remember, you might be too young for this, but Benny, you remember the claymation?
Yeah.
Gumby, California raisins, all that. That was hot back in the day.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something that was it's not as pliable, the most 3D material, but something like that done modern with more 3D harder figures would be something cool to do. So the world of 3D physical 3D animation, I think is something that is soon to come. We haven't seen that yet, for real.
Yeah, with AI, I don't know, man. People can type in a couple commands and make that thing do what it do. You got people animating pictures. they go on Mid Journey and write the picture, and then they go on Runway ML and make the picture animate, and then they get background music from other stuff, you know. And now the people making cinematic movies off of that. And I was like,
you talking about your faceless content. You got so many people generating AI figures, animating those figures, having whole pages.
I'm going to.
They're not even real. They AI generated people selling stuff because maybe
does it matter?
This could be sloppy Joe Blow in his grandmother's basement creating this.
Yeah, Fidiana is one of them.
The outward facing, you know, element of it is an attractive looking, you know, Polynesian woman or whatever that's selling whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
Does it matter?
No, it don't.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, my thing is what they selling good product. And that, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you know, if the girl, I mean, because the thing is, in these situations, the legit, now if you catfishing and scamming folks' money, that's a whole different thing. That ain't cool.
Oh no, we ain't talking about that.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that. I was talking to my friend about that. He was like, "Well, that's scamming," because it's like, no, because if you wanted to buy something, if somebody, because the thing is, it's not their product. They're being given a piece of this product by a company that's doing good and has a successful track record. They're just with you because people are there on your platform. So, like, with that being said, it's a good product. You're getting a good deal, and like you probably wasn't gonna meet that person anyway. She's just as real, and that, you know what I'm saying, it's literally the same stimuli.
But not, it's what you're saying is right. At the end of the day, the pretty model is what's persuading you. Now, whether it's a real pretty model or not, it doesn't really matter. If that's the persuasion, but the product is real, it doesn't really matter if that person is real or not. It's just looking at. We buy cereal from a tiger. You feel me? Like it's not. It doesn't.
Coca-Cola from
it's more of a mascot at that point.
Santa and a polar bear. And the other thing is, somebody was like, well, you know, they got a cash app in the bio. What if somebody send them $200? You know, ain't that a scam? I'm like, bro, cause if you send, bro, if you send $200 to anybody with that you don't know, just off the strength, they got a link in their handle, you got a whole nother problem that and because of that problem, I'm out. I don't even want to talk to you more. Cause like, you gullible. That mean you might give away my information for a Big Mac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna get on my soapbox here, but I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. We gotta stop as a culture doing dumb stuff, sending our money to these grifters, trying to these get rich schemes, and then get mad on the back end that we got scammed. like there needs to be like I'm with you. I'm not here to advocate for no scammers, nobody there. But back in the day, you do something dumb, you got. Like we don't feel sorry for you if you put your money in something that's obviously a scam. Like we need some type of we gotta start championing reading, watching for warning signs. Like that's like, yeah, we can always bash the scam. Like, it's a cool thing now. Someone's a scammer. It's a whole movement now online with bashing the scammers. Nah, the scammers they shouldn't be there. But the people, the real people who are doing the most egregious thing, all these people who are not doing their research, not doing their homework, and getting got. Like that's the game. So let's be responsible consumers. All I'm trying to say out here.
Two things lead to that though, Benz. One, doing your due diligence, like you said, and then operating from a space of scarcity or fear, or like Pitts was talking about earlier. Like I'm at a place right now where I could live off of 2 years of my income. I'm not doing stuff just to be doing it. A lot of people set themselves up and they're in compromising situations to where they feel like they gotta jump off the ledge and do something crazy and send this to this person because they're going to get them out of the situation. And there's a bunch of people out there that are preying on people's vulnerabilities. So
man, it's also a bunch of people out here that think you can get $10,000 from your credit card and close it and that you're going to keep it. You know, it's crazy. It's people out here that's wearing $8,000 shoes that's asking, can you drop them off at the crib after? You know what I'm saying? It's you know, I have decided that I was gonna take a couple months away from the country because it's like people crazy over here, man. People crazy.
And then, like
you know
I
what
said,
I'm saying?
I don't mind people being crazy, but it don't be crazy and then look for sympathy on the back end when you do something crazy. That's my issue. Go live your life. We all free citizens. Got spend your money on it, but don't go do something dumb and then come back crying. Oh, so and so stole my money. Nah, if you mailed DJ Envy $100,000, never go see the house, that's on you. DJ Envy's not doing nothing. Like he's just there. You sent that man a lot of money for a house you've never seen before. That's on you. So it's like, I don't know. Whatever. Got a whole different angle. But like I said, I just want everybody to be more knowledgeable consumers and understand what they're doing with themselves, what they dollar, and the value of their dollar. That's all. If something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Simple. Like, not much more to it than that, man. But yeah, this been a great discussion today, man. I thank you for your thoughts. Any last things you want to leave with the people before we get out of here?
I think that's it, man. I dropped the handles. You know, we had a good conversation. I appreciate the time. Let's run it back after a little bit of time passed. I'm pretty sure I have some more updates for you. And yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's about it, man.
For sure. Well, thank you for coming out, man. We appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate being here, man. Good seeing y'all again.
For sure.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you, Pitts. Again, another illustrious guest on the Extraordinary Exchange podcast, powered by the Extraordinary Investment Group. Hopefully, y'all got some value out of this. Check out Pitts and everything he has to offer. Yeah, man, we'll holler at y'all on the next episode.